one stop, a family shop. Think Thayer, come on, let's get rolling. Come on, let's get moving. Think Thayer.
Welcome into Falcon Weekly here on BGSUFalcons.com. I'm Evan Pivnick, joined by the head coach of the Bowling Green Falcons, Chris Bergeron. Coach, this past weekend against Minnesota State, 2 ties, but how satisfied are you with the results, just the way the two teams played?
Well, I won't comment on how they played. How we played, I don't think we played very well Friday, and I think we played much better Saturday. We got off to a bad start Saturday for sure, but I thought from start to finish it was a much better game than Friday was. So ultimately, if you look at the weekend, I think we got exactly what we were supposed to get. It probably should have lost Friday and should have won Saturday, and to get 2 ties. I mean, we're I wish all these games didn't end in ties, but that's where we're at right now. And I think the only concerning point was, the Northern Michigan series. What we were happy about is that we had 2 consistent efforts from start to finish, from start of the game Friday to the end of the game Saturday. This weekend, I think again we got back into that. We showed up one night out of 2, and that's not good enough, especially against a team like Minnesota State. So all in all, I guess we're the results are what they are. We take ownership of those results. They're ours. But we have to find a way to put 2 good efforts together on a more consistent basis, and we haven't had much luck at doing that this first half.
Friday night's game, the team was able to come back with 3 minutes and 42 seconds left in the third period with 2 goals to tie it up. What does that say about this year's team?
Well, this year's team has proven that they're not going to stop fighting until the end. I mean, we've scored a couple of goals with goalies pulled so far this first half, and that's a good thing for us. I wish we weren't in those situations, but it's nice to know when we are, we can find a way.
Ben Murphy was the one who scored Friday night to tie it up at 2 late in the third. He's had an up and down year. How big was it of a goal for him to score? And how happy were you?
Well, I was happy for us that we scored, and obviously happy for him. I mean, he wants to score. He wants to contribute as a senior. He's a kid that tries as hard as he can every day, but what he struggles with is execution. And I think there's a couple plays that lead up to that. Mark Cooper makes a play where he dives and pokes the puck from one of their guys, and then Matt Polkamp makes a big-time play to Ben. So I think Ben got rewarded by a couple other guys executing as well. And I'm happy for him. I mean, again, I know he wants to contribute, and to be able to score a goal in that fashion is great for him for sure.
Goaltending this weekend, Chris Nell got the start in both games. What did you like from him?
I thought he played well. I thought he was strong on Friday for sure, and with a team that wasn't playing great in front of him. Saturday, I didn't like the penalty that he took, and then they ultimately scored 5 seconds later on the power play. But I thought he settled in and played a pretty strong game, which ultimately is a strong weekend. Didn't get the results he'd gotten the 4 games prior, but I thought he looked more like the Chris Nell that we saw, in the first 6 or 8 games. Regardless of what the end results were.
Now this weekend upcoming at Bemidji, remember last year the weekend didn't go the Falcons' way. Going into this weekend, it's the last WCHA weekend of the calendar year. So what's the mindset going into this weekend, and what's the strategy?
Well, the strategy is to show up and give yourself an opportunity both nights. The mindset is, I think we're kind of fighting ourselves right now, and that the semester's over. We played 6 home games in a row, and now we're thinking about Christmas time. We have to fight that mindset because we've got 2 very difficult league games that are going to matter this weekend, and we've got a team in Bemidji who's looking up at us. It looks like they've had a little bit of an up and down first half. Obviously, I don't know that, but looking at their stats to this point, they're a good team. Everyone was expecting them to be a good team. They return a bunch of their top forwards. They have some turnover on the back end, and their goaltending is experienced and good. And we haven't played well in the building, at least enough of the time. Last year we didn't play well at all on Friday. Saturday we had a 2-0 lead that we squandered late in the third period. We have to find a way. We have to find a way to compete from the start of the game Friday to the end of the game Saturday, and make sure our process is right. We know that if our process is right more of the time, our results will follow.
Saturday, the Falcons were without Chris Polkamp and Brent Tate, and then see Jose Delgadillo go down as well on Saturday. Any injury update going into this weekend?
No, Chris looks like he's on the path to playing. Delgadillo and Tate are going to be the extended injuries. They're guys that, December 30th will probably be a little bit of a stretch for them to be back, but I think they'll be back skating and potentially in the conversation as we get to Clarkson and beyond. But like I said, I think Chris should be back playing this weekend.
Well, Coach, I appreciate the time and best luck this weekend.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.